Okay, let's talk about mastering your money. What if I told you your entire financial future doesn't hinge on some huge dramatic decision? No lottery wins, no secret stock market trick. What if it actually comes down to the small, almost invisible things you do every single day? So, does this sound familiar? You get paid and you promise yourself, okay, this is the month. This month I'm gonna finally save. But then life happens, right? Rent is due, the bills start piling up, and oh yeah, those forgotten subscriptions start draining your account, and just like that, you're right back where you started. It's so frustrating. But here's the most important thing I want you to hear. You are not bad with money. You're not lazy, and you are definitely not alone in feeling this way. The real problem? It's that most of us were never actually taught how any of this stuff really works. I mean, this just shows the gap perfectly, doesn't it? School taught us algebra, geometry, history, all good stuff. But it kind of left out the practical skills we need for, actual adult life. Things like budgeting, how credit works, investing. We were pretty much left to guess our way through it all, just reacting to money instead of feeling in control. And that is the core idea we're talking about today. It's not about getting rich overnight, it's about being intentional. So in this explainer, we're going to walk through 8 tiny, and I mean tiny, realistic habits that can completely reshape your financial life. All right, let's start with part 1, financial awareness. Look, before you can even think about controlling your money, you have to be able to see it clearly. So these first few habits, they're all about building that simple but super powerful awareness. Most people hear the word budgeting and their eyes just glaze over. They picture these super complicated spreadsheets, and honestly, that's exactly why so many of us give up before we even start. So let's just forget all of that. We're gonna make this ridiculously simple. Here is your first tiny habit. Are you ready? Just track one single number each day, your total spending. That's it. No categories, no fancy graphs. At the end of the day, just ask yourself, hey, how much did I spend today? Write it down, put it in a note on your phone, whatever works. Now you might be wondering, why does this even work? It's because awareness always comes before control. Right now, your money's probably leaking out silently. A coffee here, a food delivery there. Tracking that one number makes all that invisible spending visible. And once you see it, you naturally start to think twice. Okay, let's be honest for a second. For a lot of us, checking our bank account can be, well, terrifying. It can trigger anxiety, shame, even regret. So what do? We just don't look. We ignore it. But we all know that ignored problems don't go away. They just get bigger in the dark. So here's the next habit. Check your bank account every single day. But, and this part is absolutely key, you have to do it with one rule. Just observe. No judgment, no guilt. I want you to think of it like checking the weather. You don't get mad at the forecast, right? You just notice it says it's going to rain and you grab an umbrella. It's just data. And our final awareness habit is what I call the weekly audit. Once a week, maybe on a Sunday morning with your coffee, just ask yourself this one simple question. Look back at your spending, not with judgment, but with genuine curiosity. This turns every dollar you spend into feedback. It helps you see if your money is actually going towards the things you care about. Okay, so we've built up that awareness. Now we're ready for part 2, financial intention. This next set of habits is all about changing your mindset before you even spend a single dime. Money has its own language, right? Words like inflation, assets, and this big one, compound growth. And if you don't know the language, it's really easy to feel like you don't belong at the table. So the habit here is super simple. Learn one new money word a day. Just one. Think about it. In a year, you'll know more than most people learn in their entire lifetime. Oh man, impulse spending. It's the silent killer of budgets. It's that little voice in your head that whispers, go on, you deserve this. So here's a really simple rule to fight back. For any purchase that isn't an absolute essential, add it to your cart and then just wait 24 hours. That's it. The emotion fades, your logical brain comes back online, and then you can decide if you really need it. And it's so important to get this. The 24-hour rule isn't about restriction. It's actually the complete opposite. Self-control with your money is freedom in disguise. It's freedom from impulse buys, freedom from that awful buyer's remorse, and most importantly, freedom to use your money for what truly, truly matters to you. Just think about how much content you scroll through every single day. Your social media feeds, YouTube, all of it. Now imagine making one tiny switch. Replace just 10 minutes of that entertainment with 10 minutes of money education, a podcast, a YouTube channel, an article, whatever. 10 minutes a day is over 60 hours of financial learning in a year. Your feed shapes your mindset, so you gotta curate it wisely. All right, so we've built awareness and we've built intention. Now it's time for part 3, proactive action. This is where the rubber meets the road. These are the habits where we turn our thoughts into who we actually are. So the old way of saving, we've all tried it, right? You spend all month and then you try to save whatever's left over. The problem? It rarely works because there's usually nothing left. The new way is a simple but profound shift. The moment you get paid, you save first. This is the whole pay yourself first principle, and it changes everything. And listen, the actual amount you save at first really doesn't matter. It could be $10. It could be 1% of your income. The crucial part here is the identity you are building. Every single time you save first, you send a powerful message to your brain. You're saying, hey, I am someone who values my future self. And this brings us to our final habit, just thinking long term. See, most of our bad financial decisions are based on short-term feelings. I want it now. But smart financial decisions, they happen when you zoom out. So once a day, just ask yourself this question. Actually picture that calm, secure future version of you, and then make the choice today that helps them out. So we've covered 8 tiny habits. But what do they all add up to? What's the point of all this? Well, let's talk about the final truth, the real meaning of wealth. Because here's the big secret that nobody really talks about. Getting good with money isn't really about spreadsheets and stocks. At its absolute core, it is about building self-trust. It's about developing that quiet, unshakable belief that you are capable of handling your own life. And that belief, it doesn't just appear out of thin air. It's built, slowly, brick by brick, through all these tiny actions we've been talking about. Think of it this way. Each time you track your spending, or wait 24 hours, or pay yourself first, you are casting a vote for a more capable you. And that self-trust, it compounds over time, just like money in an investment account. So I'll leave you with this one last question to think about. If your financial habits stayed exactly the same for the next 5 years, would you be happy with where you'd end up? Really think about it. If the answer is no, then today is the day to start changing that. You don't have to do everything. Just pick one tiny habit from this explainer, just one, and let momentum do the rest.